Okay, so Gareth, if you wouldn't mind, give us a recap, especially for Nick, since he wasn't here last week and caught only half of the episode. Give a recap on what happened.
It's okay.
All right.
Atticro was sleeping in a tree the whole time, so he wouldn't have known either.
Passed
Well,
out drunk.
Atticro just slept through a battle. Congratulations. Yay.
How
All
do
right.
we have this guy?
I mean, the drunk dwarf woke up for a fight. And
Look, he
okay.
fought, though. Atticro just steals, lies, cheats,
Sleeps in
to
trees.
fight.
So,
Atticro's our scout. Leave him alone.
He stands by his word.
Yes, he
Alright.
does.
Right.
so basically, we had a group of idiots, and they attempted to ambush our party. Right?
Now, they were
Granted-
members of Non the Quiet.
Oh, did we find that out for sure?
Joe discovered that.
Okay, so Joe discovered that. So
Yeah.
they were members of Non the Quiet, which serves them right. They picked on the wrong people.
Yeah.
All right, so me and oh dear Lord, I don't have his name up. Give me
The
character sheet.
Minotaur?
Yeah,
Krem.
Krem.
Yeah.
That was his name. Yep. Me and Krem were down at the wagon because I wanted to see if I could repair or salvage it.
Mhm.
So it is non-repairable. I decided I was going to siphon the metal off of it in order to make some tools for myself, and began the process, in which I was so rudely interrupted with Krem taking a javelin to the chest.
Yes.
Kind of distracting when your person that's here with you decides to just turn into a porcupine. So we had 2 gnolls and 1 ogre rushing on us, and back at the camp they had an ogre and what was it, 3 gnolls, 4 gnolls? I've lost count.
An ogre and 2 gnolls up where you were at, and then there was an ogre and 3 gnolls down at the lower end.
Yeah, they didn't bring enough people. All right, so our group, the group that I was having to deal with, I lit him up a couple times, and then literally lit him up. He is now smoldering, still on fire on the ground. The 2 gnolls, the survivors of my group, had decided to surrender to see if they could live out the night, because I gave them the option to surrender, and they might live the night.
Now, you
The
did
guys
leave
that-
out the very important part of a tiny mushroom-headed dwarf riding a velociraptor.
I was getting to that part.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
All right. Now, as I was dealing with my group, the other group had to deal with the 3 gnolls and the 1 ogre.
Yes.
All right. To which they dealt with them handily with the aid of our local shapeshifter,
Hmm.
who decided to turn into a giant elk, I believe, and
Yes.
ram the ever-loving crap out of the ogre twice.
Hmm.
All right. And the minotaurs that were back at camp handily dealt with the gnolls rather efficiently. And then everyone decided to come my way because our battle was still continuing.
Yes.
All right. At which point, the elk with the dwarf fungi riding on top of him decided to shift into a raptor.
Hmm.
And so now we have a dwarf fungi riding a raptor into battle.
Yeah. Melting faces and causing slight colds.
Yep.
That's me.
And
So-
drunk as shit right now.
Yep. And he's half sauced into the wind.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So
Okay.
these idiots are now in chains because they have decided to see if they can take
Yeah.
a gamble and live through the night.
And that pretty much covers it, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. So before we get started, Nick, I would like you to play Illusion, please.
Oh, okay.
So let's go ahead and get started. Through all of this, all that's going on now, and all that has taken place thus far up to this point, and even things from the past, Nick, where would have Volution been after the end of the Second Armor-Clad War? What would he have been doing over this course of 100 years? Just wandering, or?
completely wandering. Wherever anything takes him is where he would go.
Okay. Well, during the course of all of that wandering, when the other rebuilders that the elves hold were discovered, Aleutian knew. And when the rebuilder, the main one that Florin and Zarasis have, was taken, when they took it, Aleutian knew also. So for our viewers that are watching, Aleutian is the Wizard of Wizards on Darmus. Nick, if you wouldn't mind giving just a brief backstory on him real quick.
Um, there's not a whole lot to know about his backstory because he doesn't completely remember it. He just knows that he knows a lot of things, and he's lived a long time to the point where it's pretty much driven him crazy. Like think Hermit Yoda,
There you go.
and he just kind of wanders around doing his thing.
Yeah. Now there's much more to Aleutian than that, but that will all be rediscovered in time, along with Aleutian rediscovering it too. But with that being said, um, it is the middle of the night, right? And Aleutian is somewhere on Adifus, the continent that we're on right now, seated on some cliffside. There are forests and rolling hills below him, rocks and sparse forestry behind him and above him. And off in the distance in the night, as batshit crazy as Aleutian is, he can see the telltale signs of dragon wings uh, shining in the moonlight, right? And you know who it is. You know who's coming to you. It doesn't take long for Zarasis to start to circle where you are before he finds himself a spot to land. His wings are beating, it's beating up dust and debris all over the place. And Aleutian, would he just sit there? Would he get up and stand, or what would he do?
So you would sit there for a moment, almost as though he is completely oblivious to this dragon landing next to him.
Hmm.
And then he'll just turn and say, "Must you always kick up so much dirt? I just cleaned this."
Joe, out of character, Aleutian is this Darmus's friendly wizard.
Sorry, I was very distracted.
That's okay. Aleutian is this Darmus's friendly wizard.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. When you say that, Nick, after he's done beating his wings, he kind of gives a shake and a shudder, and he looks to you and he's like, if you wouldn't find such tiny places to sit, I wouldn't kick up so much dirt.
Everywhere is tiny to you, friend, and you're late.
He lets out a sigh, some smoke comes out of his nostrils, and he looks to you and he says, my friend, it is time for you to wander no longer. Your services are required.
Or it is time for me to wander more.
He looks at you slightly confused and he's like, where would you go that I could not find you?
I don't wander to hide.
Then why do it?
Why not do it?
He lets out another sigh and he says, Aleutian, these riddles and limericks and games were fine centuries ago, but as before, times are different.
Times are always different. And I'll slowly start to stand up.
Will you come with me, old friend, one more time?
Let us wander together,
He extends a wing down to you.
and I'll go up.
Okay. He says, it's been a while. I suggest you hold on. And he immediately pushes up and starts to flap his wings, gain ground, and then basically nosedives right off the cliff over the tops of the trees. The wind's blowing in your face and your hair's fluttering all back. Your patchwork robes are all over the place. as he gains altitude and you guys fly off into the moonlight.
Awesome.
Cool. And we'll leave it there for a moment. Back to the campfire at hand. So we have 2 gnolls that are alive. The rest of their raiding party is dead. 2 ogres and 3 other gnolls have been killed by you guys. Krem still has the half chunk of javelin sticking in his chest. His brothers, whose names I have put in Discord, his brothers' names are Corcus and Tremel. They are rushing over to their brother Krem's side to start to try and figure out how to get this javelin out of him. So, Gareth, let's go with you first. What would you do?
At this point, I'm we're dragging the 2 gnolls back to the regular campsite. All right,
You
so
are?
I am. Yeah, I'm.
Okay.
I've got the length that leads to their manacles,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm pulling them in front towards the fire. I'm going to take one to a tree, and I'm going to tie him to the tree. And I'm
Okay.
going to tie the other one to a tree next to that one.
Got it. Okay.
I'm not taking off the manacles. They're just going to be rope bound to the tree.
They seem to be pretty intimidated right now. Like their whole raiding party just got fucking obliterated. And yeah, they're gonna do everything they can to stay alive as long as possible. So, all right, so you're busy doing that. Rohan, what about you?
So I remember I was making my way to the one who got mauled by the raptor. I was still out of range.
The
But
ogre. Yeah, so
Yeah.
range and stuff doesn't matter now because the fight is over. So you can
Oh,
move and wander as you want to.
I definitely want to come up to him and start asking him questions about where Nan is.
Well,
He's
the
currently lying down on fire.
yeah, he's dead.
Oh, he's dead. Well, is there one alive?
The 2 gnolls are alive.
Oh, I'll definitely take one of them by the throat then.
Well, Baruch has them both chained to trees.
Oh, well.
So you're gonna make your way over there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Let's do Edelbrim and Koch. What about you guys?
I am going to very drunkenly slide off of this dinosaur,
Okay.
and I'm going to wander over to the injured Minotaur Krim.
Okay.
Has his brothers made it to him yet?
They are fast approaching.
I will need one of them. I'm going to look at him and go, you.
Okay. You point to Crocus.
I
Pull
imagine
that
he
out.
points like over into the middle of the forest, but he's like gesturing to the Minotaur.
He gets up there and he looks to you and you say pull that out.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
looks to you and he says, "Are you mad? It'll kill him."
Only slightly mad. But I'll fix him. And I'm going to prepare to cast Cure Wounds on him.
Okay. The other brother makes it up, Tremel, and Crocus looks to him and he says, "Hold him down." And he grabs him by the shoulders and holds him. And Krem says, "Do it fast. If I die, I die."
And as soon as the spear comes out of him,
Yeah.
I'm going to place my hands on him and just boom, Cure Wounds.
Crocus puts a hoof on his chest, grabs with 2 hands, and just fucking yanks it out. Cure Wounds. Go for it.
It's a D8 plus my Wisdom modifier, which will be 3. So 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's enough to keep him alive. The wound gushes blood. It kind of spits all over the place. Krem screams, but you drunkenly lay hands on him. One hand on his face, the other kind of in his upper chest. And the magic starts to work. Doesn't take too long. The wound is not healed all the way, but it's enough to where he's not going to die anymore.
Koch will de-raptor.
Okay.
He'll walk up Um, he'll look at the wound and what Edelbrim's doing. He'll concentrate on himself for a minute, and he's going to cast Aura Vitality.
What does that do?
Healing
That's a fun
energy
one.
radiates from you in an aura within within a 30-foot radius until the spell ends. The aura moves with you, centered on you. You can use a bonus action to cause one creature in the aura, including you, to regain 2d6 hit points.
Nice. Go ahead. Yeah,
He becomes a healing circle for anybody within range
that's wonderful. So yeah,
that he chooses.
okay. 6 more. Perfect. Yeah, that's more than enough to close the wound and replenish Krem. And he's laying there. The brothers are happy. They're not crying or anything, but they are definitely relieved that he's not going to die. And
I'm gonna
Krem
start.
is just. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say I'm just gonna start banjoing the haphazardly. Like
Okay.
I know what I'm doing, but I don't know what I'm doing at the moment.
Right. And but the thing that you notice, Koch, is that Krem's looking at you. He's been watching you the whole time. Did you even shift out of Velociraptor, or did you do this as a Velociraptor?
Oh no, I did. I shifted out of Velociraptor.
Okay. Well, either way, he's been watching you, and when his brothers help him sit up, he looks to you and he's like, "You work like the bone collectors. This is amazing." He's in total awe of what just happened. Lawrence, let's go to you. And
Yeah,
Voldaceris.
I think I'm just going to be like, I'm taking stock of like, make sure everyone's all right, everyone's good, and after that, I'm going to just head towards the Gnolls and participate in the interrogation.
Okay. Voldaceris, what about you?
I'm going to make my way over to the rest of the group, slowly, trying to gather and take into myself what just took place, what just happened, and try to calculate in my mind various scenarios of have we been played, have we not.
Okay. Are you going to go participate in the interrogation also, or kind of keep your
I'm
distance?
I'm going to make my way over there, but I'm not going to actually interrogate by any means.
Got it. But you are going to pay attention. You're going to be aware. Okay. And then finally, Atticrow, you wake up.
I'll come stumbling out of the forest of whatever tree I fell asleep in.
Nice taste of blue lightning on the tip of your lips.
Oh no. I stick
No?
with rum, sir.
Oh, okay. Too
I'm-
much rum.
That's right. Very picky about my liquor.
You look around and it is fucking mayhem. There are dead gnolls and ogres all over the place. One of them is on fire.
I'll look around. Everything under control?
Yeah, they're currently marching two shackled gnolls to two trees down past the fire.
I'll go sit next to the knoll that's on fire to kind of warm up.
What the fuck? It's an ogre. An ogre's on fire right now.
Okay, that's fine. I'll sit next to him like he's the campfire and just kind of like warm my hands against it.
Oh my god.
At this point, I imagine the fat cooking off of him is feeding the flames. So he would smell kind of like a bad Jimmy Dean sausage cooking.
Roll what the fuck would you roll?
To see where they hurl? That'd
No,
be Constitution.
roll Constitution. Let's see if it actually smells good to you.
Okay.
13 base.
16.
It has the surprising smell of shitty in food. Like you've smelled it before, and
What about like the food from the jails?
oh yeah, definitely.
Oh,
It smells exactly
yes.
like that.
Smells like home then. I'm right in there.
Okay, your mouth's watering a little bit there, buddy. You're getting a little parched. That's disgusting. Moving on. Okay, so down to the Gnolls.
All right.
The father, Garen, uh, is marching down that way. Like he has noticed that the brothers are taking care of themselves, and he is currently marching his way to where the Gnolls are. Ian, if you would do me Mason, if you would do me a favor and play one of the
Mhm.
Gnolls, please.
Okay.
You don't have
Feel-
to know nothing about nothing. Just
I feel a little hurt.
well, Ian, if you want to play the other Gnoll, by all means, go ahead, and I'll
I
feed you guys what you would know.
I will. I will play the other one. Thank you very much.
All right.
Perfect.
I'm standing there and I'm waiting for everything to begin. I'll look around and say, "Are we ready to begin this?"
Lawrence is there with you. Voldasaris is off to the side. Rohan is making his way, as well as Garen.
I will kind of cock my head a little bit, look back to the Knolls, and I'll say, "If you resist, it'll only hurt more." And then I'm casting a spell.
What is it? Zone of truth to compel them to tell the truth?
Yep.
Hang on a second. I'm gonna intervene. Ace, I want you to do me a favor and call above or below, please.
Let's go with above.
Okay. So, as soon as you see Baruch start to cast that spell, that voice pops into your head, and it says, "That's not very fair. Now, is it? Getting them to tell the truth right away? You should make it more fun."
More danger, more glory.
Are you going to interject, or do I have to?
Why should I interject here?
Why not? Why make it so easy for them? Why let them get the truth now? Make them work for it. It'll help them trust you.
Stupidity should be rewarded with death, you know.
In due time. And it goes quiet again. All right, Gareth, your cone of truth is out there. Mason and Ian, you guys are members of Non the Quiet's group. You don't know much more than that. Like, you guys haven't even seen Non before, but you know that he exists.
Uncle, what's your spell save DC?
14.
Spell save DC for that is 14.
Okay, cool. I can
you
lie.
can choose. You can choose to voluntarily fail the roll.
Cool. I can lie.
We both
Awesome.
can.
So can Ian. Let's get to work, gentlemen. The Garen finally makes his way, and he says, "Kill these two now. They can tell you nothing."
Well, that part's true.
I will. I will hold up a hand and say, "Wait. Let's see if they can tell us nothing first."
I'll turn to Garen and I'll be like, if we want to stop Non, it's best that we interrogate his men for any information we can milk from them.
From Gnolls? You can't milk anything from Gnolls.
You try and stop Non?
Get milk
You spread
blood.
too wide.
Do you hear them talk? They speak nonsense.
Stop it. Tell him nothing.
I only
Have
speak
these
the
two
truth.
failed their rolls?
He
No, they
grabs,
succeeded.
he reaches for his great axe and he says, "Let me finish them now."
Could I
Do your
roll,
worst, Minotaur.
can I roll persuasion?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. Okay. Let's see. Where's Lawrence?
Tim, I'm drawing my sword as well.
Okay, so now you've got two that are drawing weapons.
Hold on. Okay.
I'm going to throw my hands wide and say, "Hold."
Wait a minute. Let's see.
Oh,
okay.
come on. A 9.
You can try.
God damn it. I'm trying still trying to collect myself from the battle, so I'm struggling. Like, hold on, we'll just wait a second, all right? Let's talk about this.
You
Talking
listen
is
to
over.
humans, Minotaur. You listen to them.
What is that? What did you just do?
I told them not to resist, or it was going to become painful.
What are you doing to them? Heat metal? You jerk.
They are manacled, hand and feet, to each other.
Okay. Let's see here. So if a creature is holding or wearing the object and takes damage from it, the creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or drop the object if they can. If it doesn't drop, it has disadvantage on attack. Well, they're not attacking anyways. Okay, so what do they need to roll?
They need to roll um, any physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire.
Oh, so they're automatically going to take that.
Yeah.
They are automatically going to take that.
Well,
It's
okay,
a
go
pretty
for it.
busted spell.
Roll.
Hang on.
So that's all together or spread out?
If
Each of
you
them
want,
takes
you
2d8.
each of them would take 2d8, so they would each take 8 damage.
Go right ahead.
All right.
Ian, Mason. Roll that second one.
Roll the second one.
Yep.
All right.
Holy shit.
And I'm standing by with and I'm gathering energy in my hand for another spell if necessary.
So, Ian and Mason, your two Gnolls have just taken a shitload of damage, and your wrists and your ankles, immediately the fur singes away, and you start to get second and third degree burns on your skin. This shit hurts.
I knew you was a liar.
Ah, the pain! Ah, it hurts. Make it stop.
Shut up! I
Garen's-
can't stand your voice.
Garen stands there for a minute, and he looks to you, Lawrence, and he goes, "You have them for now." And he lets go of his great axe.
Yeah. I'll look at him and I'll be like, let their slow suffering be satisfaction to you.
Rohan, how do you feel about this? Joe? Joe.
Yo.
Sorry. It's like music to my ears. They're suffering.
Would you put your
And I
sword
would
away?
just smile as I look at my sword and go, I can end it for you.
I'll probably look right at Ron. I'll be like, you will not until we get our information we need.
Curse you, you bloody humans!
All right.
Ah, it hurts.
Okay. Go
As
ahead.
soon as the next turn, quote unquote, rolls around, they will have another chance to save or fail in the zone of truth.
Well,
I will look at both of them and say, all you have to do is stop resisting.
you can ask them one question for this turn, and we'll see what the outcome is. See how you feel about their response.
All right. I will look to both of them and I'll say, who sent you?
It's kind of a dumb question, don't you think?
It really is, isn't it?
All right. Y'all have, at this point, they still have to re-roll their saves.
Oh, well, wait a minute. How do you feel about their answers?
At this point, my objection is not to get answers at the moment. My objection is to get them to start answering.
Okay, so, all right, roll Constitution save, gentlemen. For a Gnoll, we'll say 13. Oh, Mason passed. Ian did not. So Ian takes more damage, 2d8?
No, Ian failed his con save, which means he falls into the zone of truth.
Got it. Okay.
So Mason passes, which means he can continue to tell lies.
Ian has to tell the truth, though.
Ian has to tell the truth.
Okay.
And at this point, I will drop the heat metal spell from the chains that are linked to Ian.
Got it. Okay. Next question.
I'll look to Lawrence and I'll say, and I'll point to Ian's Gnoll and I'll say, that one's ready to talk. And I'll turn to Mason's Gnoll and say, stubborn, are we?
Yeah.
I'm tired
I'll
of this. Tim,
Yeah, go ahead.
since I'm chained to Ian, I'm going for his throat.
You're chained
Uh,
to two separate trees, sir.
Yeah,
We are
sorry.
manacled together, sir.
That was also
Uh,
said.
the manacles are connected together. However, you
Mhm.
are tied to a tree. The manacles are connecting your hands and your feet, and they're
Yeah.
connecting to each other.
You
You
can't
can
do that
still try and
physically.
reach for him.
I can if I loop one of the manacles through the chain that links the hands and the feet and just make an X.
It still
You
doesn't
I think if
work.
you get
You're separated, but the trees are very close. Mason, we'll go ahead and roll 20 D100, and let's see what you get. And if you win, then maybe you can reach him. High or low?
Hi.
He's within fingernails reach. You can start clawing shit out of him if you want to.
No answers.
All right. So
Ah, you bastard!
does
I
this
want to
mean
fuck him
Mason's
up so he
character is
can't
still going to
talk.
cook, though, right?
Hang on. Go ahead, Garen. Or Gareth, sorry.
I said this means Mason's character is still going to cook, though.
Well, that's true. Lawrence,
Yeah,
are
but
there any questions?
if mine
do
is
I-
heating up, so is his. So
can I see him try to attack? Like, is he?
Yeah, oh yeah.
actively- Okay, can I just draw my sword and try to fucking slit his throat?
Mason's character?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want
So
to.
I will use my bonus action to mark him as my target. And also, is he technically restrained? Because if he's
Yes,
restrained,
he is
then
restrained.
okay, then so I have advantage on the attack roll.
Holy shit. Okay.
Real official here, rules lawyer.
Well, it works both ways. All right.
Just go ahead, go. Let's see what happens.
I will.
hope he gets two nat ones.
Wow.
Submit. Both 16s.
I'd say those are hits.
Yeah.
Their armor class is 15.
Okay. I get. Sorry, just keep that top one. So 7, and then I also get to add a D6 damage to it. Oh, wait, no, D8 damage actually.
Well, I'll tell you, that's not going to be
Damn,
so
9.
9 total. That's not
Yeah.
enough to kill him, but it is enough to hurt him a lot.
I'll tell him be honest with me, and I'll let you go. Like, don't try anything funny, and you might be able to see morning.
I already know that you're a liar. Do your worst.
Okay, and then
10 more damage on Mason's character.
Yep.
The irons heat up even hotter, Mason. You are hurt really bad.
I would also like to point out that the manacles are apparently connected somehow. So Ian,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
shit,
roll
forgot.
1d8 for Ian. Or 2d8, fuck it.
It's true that he said
All
that
right.
we were connected by.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
I'll be like, if the minute I see it hurting Ian's character, I'll look at Baruch and I'll be like, drop the spell.
Yeah,
All right,
that almost
I'll-
killed him.
I will drop that spell.
Okay.
I will
And,
drop the heat metal then.
And
Okay.
I will look to Rohan and I'll gesture to Mason's knoll. I'll be like, finish him off.
Joe,
Wait, hang on. Was it Mason's knoll or Ian's knoll the one that actually got 2 hits in on me?
I don't know. That's a good question. We'll say it's Ian's.
Ian's knoll?
Yeah, but we'll get to that in a minute. Rohan. So Lawrence is giving you free reign on this knoll. What are you going to do?
Oh, I'm gonna run him through.
You're not going to talk to him or anything? You're just going to
That's what
fucking
I'm-
kill him?
These guys have not given out any good information. They're not gonna tell me where Rohan is, or where
the one question that you asked was who sent you, which is the one question that you know the answer to.
They didn't like that answer.
The one-
Fuck you.
We don't like you much.
Go ahead, Joe. Kill him.
So, yep, that's what I'm gonna do.
All right. Mason, your knoll is out. Ian,
Excellent.
you just watched your fellow knoll get slaughtered mercilessly.
If no one else is gonna carry out the interrogation, I will.
Uh,
Filthy
when
humans.
Rohan, one second here. When Rohan makes that fatal blow, Voldasaris steps forward and touches that Gnoll.
Mm-hmm.
Casts Spare the Dying to bring him back to life.
What the fuck?
Wow.
You stabilized him.
Yeah. He's still
I
Joe.
alive.
say,
Oh,
tell
okay.
the truth.
You guys all
That's all
watched
he's
this.
asking.
Voldasaris came in, and Rohan, after you made the kill, Voldasaris took it away from you.
Oh, how dare you deprive me of my glory?
You want your answers. This is a form of torture.
I will look to Voldasaris and I say, I couldn't agree more.
You're gonna fucking heal him?
Both of them.
Adacro, you're watching all of this shit take place. What are you doing during this?
He says, is anyone else hungry?
Oh my god. Nick, are you there?
Shit, I was on mute.
Yep.
So I'll watch it for a while, but then I'll walk over and I'll be chewing on something. Don't ask what. Uh, man, you know those guys don't know anything, right?
Well, no one's really asked them any questions.
These
They
are just
know. They
these are just
know.
grunts. They don't know anything.
They know
Gar-
more than we do at the moment.
Garen pipes up and he says, actually, Thief,
I know that you're
we have
not very
asked-
good at this kind of thing.
We have asked
They
them
would kill
one
him?
question.
One question:
One.
who sent them? Don't we already know?
Hey,
Consider
Garen
that
looks
a
to you.
consider
Lawrence.
that a tester question.
Hmm.
We already know the answer. I wanted to see if they were speaking the truth.
I'll look to just anyone. I just will just say it to the open air. And gesture towards Mason's. I'll be like, gag him. I'm tired of hearing him. And I'll turn.
I will pull out the 10-foot length of chain and I will gag him with the chain.
Ah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And guess what? That gives me something else I can target for heat metal.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I'll just turn to the other one that's like, being, a real honest chap with us.
Yeah.
And I will ask you, where's your base camp?
Ian, I'm going to message you separately on Messenger to give you the answer to that. Okay?
Alrighty.
All right, hold fast.
So does that aura of vitality heal them up fully? Or do you want me to...
There you go. How you want to interpret that is up to you.
It is no secret where he is. He is where he always has been. Oh, how I miss it. I'd rather be there than here. Unshackle me.
Okay. I'm going to try to just circumnavigate the spell. And I will try and where would it be?
Tim, can you check that message?
Oh, yeah, give me 1 second.
I will try a persuasion check, and I'll just be completely honest with them. I'll be like, listen,
Mason, I'll get to you in a second. Go ahead, Sean.
I'll be like, listen, my friends are desperately out for blood. I personally don't care whether you live or die. I just want to find out where someone who might know where Non is located. I am very willing to let you go free and to let your friend serve as the much needed levity for this night. So please, for your own sake, give me a straight answer. Or so help me, I'll let my friend here, I'll just towards Rohan. Start from the feet down and work his way up.
Ian, I'm going to send you something. Interpret it how you want.
Can I roll persuasion and try to get a straight answer out of him?
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
I mean, he can't technically lie.
23.
That's true, but how he says it is really up to him.
I got 23 persuasion. I feel like
Okay.
that's got to kick something out, right?
All right. Ian, you have your response. Say it how you want.
I want to believe you. I do. But I know I'm not leaving here alive. And for that, I can neither. I'm dying here or I'm dying there. So, in the deep channels of the shadows and the sunlight, he is to the west where the sun sets. He is in Crow's Valley.
Crow's
Now
Valley.
kill me, because he will do it way worse than you.
I'll stand up from where I was, kind of like kneeling down, and I'll be like, well, the Minotaurs don't give you much credit. You're way smarter than I would have thought. Rohan. And I'll snap my fingers.
Wait. I'm gonna, as the Gnoll, I'm gonna look up and I'm gonna say, no, wait. That one failed to kill him. Have the Minotaur do it. At
I'm,
least I won't die by filthy humans.
I will look at him and I'll say, no, you're mine. I promised you that it would end painfully for you.
Gareth, the hand of Garen rests on your shoulder, and he says, let the human kill him. The human was wronged by Nan. You were not.
Not the human.
I'm going to look at Rohan's character, and I'm going to look. You're wielding what, a broadsword?
Yeah.
I'm going to say, let me see that. I'm gesturing for
I'll
your
hand it to
weapon.
him. I'll hand it to
I'm
him.
going to hold the weapon here, and I'm going to pull out my dagger, and I'm going to smack it into his hand and says, use that.
All right.
Uh,
Up close and personal.
Garen turns away and he says to you, Lawrence, he says, this is personal. I suggest we leave him be.
I was planning on it.
Garen's walking back to the fire.
I will fall behind.
All right. Baruch, are you going to stay and watch?
I'll stay.
Okay. Voldasaris, what about you?
I'll stay.
And Atticrow, what about you? Are you going to stay and watch, or are you going to go back to the fire?
Oh man, I left after they stopped listening to me.
Fair enough. All right, Joe, what are you going to do with these two gnolls? Mason's is bound and gagged, trying to currently bite his tongue off to bleed out. And Ian is waiting for death, not from you.
So I will take the dagger in hand, lean close to the one that's not gagged,
Ian, yeah.
I'm spitting in
And-
his face.
Okay.
and I will say,
Filthy human.
Nan took my family. Nan took my pack. Nan took everything from me. And now I'll take it out of you.
Oh, cry
And then-
about it.
Go ahead, Joe. Go.
Yep, he's done.
How are you going to kill him?
Oh, let's see here. What would be slow and
I gave you a dagger for a reason. It only does 1d4 damage.
I'll slice his throat.
That's enough to kill Ian's character. He was only at 4 hit points.
Well, I did the aura of healing.
Oh, well, okay. So he's going to bleed out real slow. It's going to take a long time.
Yeah.
And now Mason's character, who's bound and gagged, you heard him say something, but
Read the. Yeah, his gag is should start glowing by now.
So yeah, his mouth's catching on fire. So there's that. Cauterizing any attempts to bite off his tongue. Joe, we'll leave it to your imagination and we'll go back to the fire. Okay. Atticro, you're already there. The three brothers are there also. They have made their way back to the fire. The father is behind them, checking on his son. Everybody else, if you want to move over to the fire.
Hang on, I gotta move my
Okay.
character.
Ace, I'll get you moved over there. All right. There we go. Okay, so Krem is being tended to, making sure he's okay. The dead bodies are being left there. Garen says, leave them for the morning. We will take care of them then.
Fair enough.
Hmm?
I'll say fair enough. I'll look around. Is anybody still injured?
Guys, did anybody take any damage during that?
I don't know. I don't think I did. No, I'm good.
No, I'm good.
No.
I did, but
I'm
it
good.
doesn't matter.
Fair enough. Okay, everybody looks pretty solid.
All right. At that point, I'm gonna wander back to the wagon and pick up the metal that was being used in the ritual.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna bring it back. And let me double check. Read this real quick. Nope, I can't cast it again tonight. So I'm just gonna basically pile it into my bag.
Okay. Okay. So Garen looks at you guys and he says, perhaps we should all get some rest. I think the events of tonight and Rohan's release of revenge is enough. Sleep.
I'll look and I'll say I'll take first watch.
Very well. My sons will take second.
I'll wander a little ways away from the fire and turn my back to it. That way I can see further.
Got it. Okay, so everybody, where are you going to go? How are you going to position yourselves to try and get some sleep? Or is there anything that you want to do before you drift off into rest? Because this will be a long rest.
I am actually, if it's okay, if no one else is gonna do anything right now, I'm going to get I'm gonna call my falcon down,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm actually going to try to jot out a letter to my family. Actually, no, specifically, I'm going to jot out a letter to whoever is stationed at Crow Valley.
Okay.
And I want, like, hey, I need updates about this guy non the quiet, you know? Just be like, send me any information you have, and I'll load it up onto my falcon and send her off.
Okay, she immediately takes off.
And I'll tell her, like, hey, we're moving, so, be
Okay.
prepared to try to find me.
Fair enough. The communication between you two is very tight, very concise. She understands every word that you're saying to her.
Cool.
And she goes. Anybody else?
Also, I'm going to go use the bathroom.
Who's going? Oh, Sean.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Anybody else want to do anything before long rest takes over?
Nope, I'm good.
Nick?
No, I'm good.
I mean, I've kind of already had a nap, so I feel like I'd be pretty good. But
Okay.
I don't think there's much to do.
Mm-mm.
There is something I will do.
Who's I will? Gareth?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you got?
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm activating my bone bag.
you're activating what?
My bone bag.
What does that do?
I am doing animate dead on the skeleton that is inside that bag that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am making an undead servant.
Got it. Does whatever you ask it to.
Yeah, and for the moment, I'm just going to create it and then have it climb back into the bag and collapse into a pile of bones.
Okay, so explain to me what the purpose is, what you're trying to do.
Um, I'm making myself a disposable scout if necessary,
Hmm.
a surprise trap, um, a second set of eyes.
Got it. So it's in the bag, but it's animated?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. All right, we'll do that. Okay, so the night slowly goes on, right? Gareth, you're in the process of reworking that iron, correct?
Yeah, if there's anything I can do with it, because I mean, I can't recast the spell at this point because I need a long rest in order to regain that ability.
Got it. So okay, so it's just a pile of mess right
Yeah,
now.
at this point, I am just
I think that
folding
would
it,
more
bending it to where just to make it more
yeah,
compactable.
I think it'd be more frustrating for you than anything.
Yeah, but at this point,
Okay. Um, as the hours go by, the rest of you, the rest of the party goes off into their corners or whatever, either inside the light of the fire or just outside the light of the fire, and sleep slowly starts to take over. Gareth, as you're sitting there doing your watch or standing patrolling the perimeter, uh, it gets lonely, it gets quiet, but it's stuff that you're used to, so
mhm.
it doesn't bother you too much. The sounds that you hear are sounds that you've heard numerous times before. Small game moving around, bigger game moving around, and every now and then, when you look up to the stars, you're still close enough to Browning, but far away enough that you can't hear it, but you can see the little pulses of light from the fireworks that are ending the festivities. So, um, as more time goes by, roll perception real quick.
All right.
Let me know what you get. 9. Nothing. From time to time, you look up, the stars are aligned, they're beautiful, they're bright, and the moon shines deep into the forest, gives those nice little silhouettes and things like that. But as time goes on, one of the brothers comes to you and he says, "It's time, Ogre. Orc, sorry. It's time, Orc. Time for your rest."
I'll nod and I'll say, so far it's been quiet. Hopefully it stays so.
He stops you for a minute and he says, "I want to thank you for defending my brother."
I like you and your brothers, your father too.
"We have respect for you." And he pulls a dagger out and he says, "If you don't mind."
I'll nod.
On one of your leather straps or whatever, he takes the dagger by point, grabs you by your shoulder, and starts to etch a rune into your dagger or into your leather strap. And he's explaining what he's doing. He's like, "This is the rune. Uh, this is the rune of adulthood for Minotaurs. Your first battle, so to speak, with your own kind." And he motions to the party and to his family. "You are now one of us." And as he finishes, he gives a hard scratch down toward the end, looks at it, nods, and he says, "Thank you, brother." And he walks away.
I'll tell him thanks, and I'll head back to the campfire.
Okay. As the night goes on, one of you in the party, I'm not going to say who, but one of you, your eyes open, and you look around. You can see and you can feel and you can smell and taste and touch, but your control is gone. And now you're back here, and something else has taken control. The body sits up and looks around, notices everyone's asleep. The one Minotaur is walking, and this person gets up and silently moves off into the forest. It's almost like a haze, like a blood red haze as you look. You sound animalistic, extremely aggressive, hungry, even for what you do not know, but all you know now is you need to cause pain. And you run and you run and you run, and it's almost like you've been running through the rest of the night, but it's still as dark as when you got up and moved. And off in the distance, however far away it is, you can see and you can smell the workings of another campfire. Hesitation lasts all of 2 seconds, and that's just enough for your mind to figure out exactly what you want to do. And as you run as fast as you can, you draw no weapons. You do no things to defend yourself. If you had the ability to cast spells, none of that takes place. And as you're getting closer to this fire, you notice that it's a family, a traveling family, a husband, a wife, and two older kids. And the husband hears it first. He can hear you barreling through the forest. And he turns to look, and he gets enough of a word out to go, "Oh, my relic," before you burst into the light of the fire, and then red. Back to the main campsite, as one of the brothers is doing his patrol, he hears this ungodly howl, this ungodly scream coming from the distance. And you and if who's an elf? Uh,
I am.
Roll it, because you meditate, right?
Yeah, I just have trance.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception real quick at a 14, please.
One perception coming in. Nope.
Okay, nothing. But this Minotaur that's doing the patrols, he stops, and if his skin could turn white, it would. His fur kind of goes on end, and he grips his great axe a little bit tighter. This howl is unholy, and he just kind of looks around, peers into the darkness for a minute, and then takes a couple of steps back to get closer to the warmth and comfort of the fire. And then the next morning, Lawrence, you're the first to wake.
I will rub the sleep out of my eyes, and I will just kind of, make the rounds, make sure everyone's up, or in the process of getting up. And
Okay.
who's our cook? This is a good question. Like,
I
who's
got a good
making up?
idea who it might be.
Oh yeah.
Edelbrim.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I'll look to Elbrim, as I wake him up, and I'm like, can you cook?
I forgot my pots and pans.
Well,
Garen says, "No worries, we have pots and pans," and he pushes a whole stack of them over. They're dirty. They're not clean. They're what was used from last night plus days from before. But he's standing there, got a big smile on his face, and he goes, "They're yours to use."
I'll There's not a river nearby, is there?
What would you roll for that? Like a survival?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, is there some
Yeah.
kind of nature sense or something like that?
Survival or nature, one of the
Roll,
two, I think.
roll nature, Ian. You
Oh, that
have
was
no fucking clue.
that was abysmal.
Oh shit.
Um, I'll look over at the pots and how bad are they?
They're dirty. They've been used. They are not clean.
Uh,
Garen's just like, yes, yes. He's
uh,
waiting.
I'll look at one of them and I'm going to try something to see if it works,
Mending.
to see if it'll clean it.
Well, they're not broken or torn.
I don't know if it'll clean them.
No, fuck no.
No.
I can clean them.
Okay, what are you gonna do?
Hang on, I gotta find what it is.
What is that?
Prestidigitation.
Harmless sensory effects such as
Mm.
a shower of sparks, puff of wind, faint musical notes, or an odd
You
odor.
instantaneously clean or soil an object no larger than 1 cubic foot.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can clean a pot or two. Sure, why not?
sure. So I'll clean some off.
Okay. Is it just like a wave of the hand? Like, whatever.
Yeah, like I think I would just like walk by without even saying anything and just be like, there you go.
Ian, before you are two very clean cast iron pots.
This is amazing.
All right. While he's getting breakfast going, I'm gonna go
I'll
back.
start cooking.
I'm gonna go back to where the busted wagon is, and I'm gonna inspect the dead ogre that's over there.
Okay, so we've got you going there. Edelbrim, you're cooking. Koch, what are you doing? Are you sticking with Edelbrim or are you going to go wander?
Probably wander for a minute.
In the forest?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I see Koch and Baruch wandering off, I will tell both of them, like, be back soon. We're having a group meeting once everyone's up and about.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Rohan, what about you? What are you doing?
Well, I see breakfast is getting ready, so I'll just wipe the sleep from my eyes and wait patiently by the fire.
Okay. Voldesaris, what about you?
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay where I'm at. Basically, just take in the surroundings.
Okay.
Possibly gather or possibly eat a small bite of what I have in my pouch.
Not eat what's going to be prepared, or are you just eating in wait for the food?
I'm eating in hopes not have to eat what looks to be prepared.
Got it. Okay. You notice the pots are clean, though, so there's that. They're really clean. And Adacro, finally, what are you doing? I know you walk by and clean the pots, but from there, are you going to sit and wait, or are you going to go fuck around?
So I'm going to be a little bored.
Okay.
I'm going to just kind of like wander around aimlessly within the group, trying to find something to do, and then eventually just get bored and sit down and wait.
Fair enough. All right. Let's go with Baruch first while Edelbrim is in the process of cooking breakfast.
All right. I'm walking up to this. I'm assuming fairly cooked ogre.
He is smoldering, but the fire is out.
All right.
Pay no attention to the missing pieces.
Yeah, there may or may not be more than 2 missing pieces.
Well, I noticed. Did I notice that Adacro came back eating something?
History from last night. History check. Yeah.
Hang on.
13. No,
No, didn't care enough.
no.
Eh,
Too much other stuff was going on for you to pay attention to what was in his hand.
no. All right. So basically, I'm going to search him.
Okay, so first things first, you find a pile of melted copper.
Into the bag with the into the pouch.
Okay, like if you were to craft it into coins, you would get six copper out of it. It's worth that much.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it as far as precious metals and stuff like that go. There are parchments and things that are now ash, or pretty damn close to it. His clothes are burnt beyond recognition. Where there was the scarf that is Non the Quiet's trademark, that is still there, but it is like if you touch it, it will disintegrate into ash.
All right. Weapons, armor.
Any weapons or armor that he had on him. Let's see here. As far as weapons go, he did have a great club that is burned, but it is still usable.
Not
Uh,
interested.
and there are a few javelins around, but the handles are burned, and the javelin tips could be they're usable, but you don't have a javelin to put them on unless you do.
All right. Well, the first thing I'm going to try is those papers. I'm going to try mending on them to see if it actually does anything.
Will that work on the papers?
I mean, it repairs damage.
Well, I mean, they're burnt next to ash.
Small chance.
Let me look at that. Repairs a single break or tear in an object you touch, such as a broken chain link, two halves of a broken key, a torn cloak. No, that's not going to work.
Okay. Then I will scrape together whatever metal there is and just add it with the iron that I've currently got.
Buckles and things of that nature. Nothing worth much of anything, but you can rework it into something.
Yeah. After that, I'll just head back.
Okay. Did you want to redo your spell on that iron?
Not currently. I'll wait.
Okay, so you're just going to carry it with you?
Yeah.
Okay,
For
fair
the time
enough.
for the time being.
Okay, let's go to Koch. Koch, you are wandering the forest, correct?
Yep.
Okay, is there anywhere in particular that you are trying to go, or what are you doing out here?
I'm trying to see if I can gather a few resources, knowing that we're probably setting up on our journey here soon.
Okay.
So, like, see if there's any kind of like nearby food, something like that. Also,
Okay,
probably gotta pee.
roll survival. We'll go at 11. I didn't see what came up. Give me a second.
19.
19? Yeah, absolutely. So, you in the air catch the smell of campfire wood, not from yours, but further off. Um, First impressions, there's people there or people that were there. Maybe something was left behind if you want to go investigate in that direction. Otherwise, through your walk, you can hear and smell uh, a small creek and or stream running through here, fresh water. And that also kind of forces the implication of having to take a leak too. Um, but there are herbs and things that you are seeing along the way that you could grab too.
Um, Koch would probably at least venture towards the fire. He'll be a little bit cautious, knowing that we were attacked by gnolls and ogres, so there's possible that there may be others in the area.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, moving along, let's see here. You are able to pick up uh, enough herbs for like a healing salve, like a paste,
Mm,
enough for 4 of them.
okay.
Yeah. Then there's berries and things like that that you can find and discover, and that is enough to feed 3 people for a day. Okay, on
Mhm.
top of the fresh water too. So moving along, gathering these things as you go. The smell of the campfire is getting stronger, but it doesn't smell like it's actively burning. It smells like it's been out for a while, and you're just kind of catching whatever's left. You see the creek.
Mhm.
Um, are you going to get fresh water?
Yeah.
Okay, and you can relieve yourself at this point too if you want to.
Not in the creek, you sick fuck.
On the other side of the creek or whatever the case may be, after you get the water, fish pee in it. So there's that. Well, crayfish, whatever. Either way,
I have a
um,
feeling that his pee would probably kill off some of those crayfish.
that may or may not happen. But either way, you move on a little bit farther and you can see the small clearing up ahead and you can see the smoke from the fireplace or from the campfire now, too.
Mhm.
Roll perception.
Hold on.
You don't see anybody.
I'll move forward.
Okay. The closer you get, you can now see the campsite clearer. There's whatever they used in the center, like there's some stones circling where they put the firewood in, and there's smoke coming from it. But any fire that was burning burned out over the course of the night. The embers are even cooling off and things like that. If you take another 10 or 20 feet, you'll be right on the edge of their campsite. But still,
And
you don't see anybody.
I'm going forward because if they're like a traveler that was attacked, I want to see if I can find a body to
Uh,
identify or.
Okay. You don't have to roll perception anymore. So you make it to the edge of the campfire, and what you see is beyond words. It looks like whatever was here is unrecognizable anymore, and it looks like some kind of animal attack. And whatever it was that attacked the perception, yeah, roll perception one more time, and this will be it. They look like they were human at one point, but whatever got a hold of them ripped them to shreds. There's blood and gore all over the ground. Small creatures, animals are feasting on those things.
Mhm.
Whatever's left of these people, crows and vultures and shit like that. There's blood all over the trees. There's damage to the trees, and any equipment or things that they were carrying have been strewn about the campsite. Some weapons were destroyed. Bows and arrows were broken in half. It looks like a slaughter.
Could I tell like what animal?
Investigation.
I feel like I would know beasts of the forest and yeah, absolutely not.
No beast that like. There's no tracks. I mean, there's tracks. There's footprints everywhere. But
Mm,
cursory glance, you don't see anything that stands out as a beast. I'll let you do investigation and nature together.
how the fuck does that work?
Take the high. Do it like with advantage. Take the higher of the two.
You said investigation and nature.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I mean, you know nature, you know the creatures and things like that. So
Mm.
nature 13. Do investigation. Okay. Um, So after the initial shock or whatever, if he's even taken aback by this, after that wears off, you get to work, right? And you start
Mm,
looking, and at first you do see creature footprints, but you easily figure out that those are creatures that came and picked at whatever was left after this had happened. So you see some wolf, coyote paw prints, even a mountain lion or two. Um, but those don't stick around very long. You notice that they came in, took whatever they wanted, and left. Lots of bird prints and things of that nature. But as you dig in, as you really look at the shuffling of footprints, whatever did this was humanoid. And that's about as far as you can get into it. It wasn't a creature, it was something that walks on two legs.
am I able to like see the humanoid tracks or keep up with them in the mess?
So there's a ton of humanoid tracks and they all kind of shuffle together. You can tell that there was a major scuffle.
Mm, yeah, no shit.
Go ahead, sorry.
I said no shit.
Yeah. So there's that, but I mean as far as like what direction it may or may not have come from, investigating a little more, you see too many tracks coming and going from away from the campsite. I mean, that's easy to figure out. They were either going to get firewood or going to use bathroom or foraging
Mm,
for herbs and food or whatever. So that's almost an impossibility to figure out.
okay.
You gonna do anything else?
Uh, I mean, if I don't see anything or I can't recognize anything else, like did they have a wagon or anything?
They had like a small cart that they pulled, but that is in splinters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
That it?
so what I'd want to do, I don't know if you would let me do it.
Might.
Um, like I'd like to clean up the mess.
Yeah, you can do it. You're the only one here.
Um, so
Like bury the dead.
what I'd like to do is cast entangle
Uh-huh.
to where grasping weeds and vines sprout from the ground in a 20-foot square,
Mm-hmm.
and then basically have the vines like shrink the bodies to sort of bury them.
Yeah, I'll let that go. Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what he'll do.
Okay. It takes some time, not super duper long, but enough to get what you can of what's left of them together and bury
Mhm.
them into the ground.
And
Okay.
then uh, what he'll do is he'll leave a handprint of his own,
Anywhere specific or just in the mix?
just in the mix.
Got it. Okay. And are
Just,
you going to head? Oh, go ahead.
I mean, he doesn't have like a headstone or anything for,
Hmm.
so
Okay. All right. And you're heading back to the campsite?
yeah.
Okay. 2 XP for that, Mason. All right. So, Edelbrim, you're in the middle of cooking. Everybody else is kind of milling about, either bored or unbored, whatever.
I'd help start cleaning up the bodies
Oh, yeah.
and claim my manacles and stuff back.
The Minotaur are doing that too. They're pulling the carcasses of the gnolls and the ogres off to the side. You notice one of the Minotaur is cutting down trees that are about as thick as their arms And if you look close enough, they're cutting down enough for each dead body.
I'll ask them, are they planning to bury or burn?
They're going to be displayed.
Oh, okay.
This is a reminder to Non's men that this is what happens. And
All
to
right.
anybody else that chooses to attack on the Queen's Road.
I'll help them.
Okay. Rohan, you see this going on. Is that something you would partake in also? Joe?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Okay. Lawrence, Voldiceris, Atticro, you guys can see them starting to work on that too. Is there any reaction to that, or are you going to just kind of let them be?
So what are they doing exactly? They're cutting down trees and they're like, they're making like a
Like stakes, like
Okay,
posts
gotcha.
to put the
Stringing
dead
up the
bodies
bodies.
on. Yeah.
I'll let them do their thing. You know, I'm not gonna get involved. I'll let them sort of. I think they'll probably get more satisfaction if I don't get involved. Quite
Okay.
honestly.
Voldiceris, Atticro, how do you guys feel about this?
Let's see here.
Atticro doesn't care.
Okay, fair enough.
He like literally does not care about it.
Right on.
I want to assist in the bodies being able to send a message.
Mhm.
So I think this can help. I could be wrong. Please point me in the direction if I am wrong.
Okay. Let me take a peek real quick. Gentle repose. You touch a corpse or other remains for the duration. The target is protected from decay and cannot become undead. Ooh. Extends the time limit on raising the target from the dead since, yeah, that'll work perfect. So they will not rot. They will stay as mangled as they are and look as
For
fresh
10
as.
days before they start rotting.
Yeah, holy shit. Okay.
Burnt, twisted, chopped up remains strung up. All right.
Ace 2 XP for that disgusting display of trust amongst your comrades.
And as I cast that spell, I turn and look to Rohan and just give a nod.
All right. Koch, you make
Non
your way
is
back.
Rohan is.
Oh, go ahead. Say that again, Joe.
I just want to say Rohan is very happy.
Nice. All right. Koch, you make it back to camp at this time. And at that time, Edelbrim, your food is ready.
I'm gonna hold up a plate and say, "Here, Koch, I saved the vegetables for you."
Mason?
Koch will accept them.
Okay. Lawrence, you can call your meeting if you want to. The Minotaur are now starting to sit down. They've kind of stopped what they're doing with stringing up the dead raiders,
Mhm.
and they're coming to eat.
Yeah. I mean, this is mainly for my guys. I mean,
Yeah,
they can listen if they want to.
they're just
Um,
hungry. So,
Sure. But yeah, I mean, if everyone's around, I'll
yeah.
kind of look to everyone and I'll be like, well, I understand that perhaps this isn't the intended goal of our gathering. I believe it is in the best interest of everyone here that we begin to look into the goings ons of Non the Quiet. I am of the opinion that he poses a genuine threat to security of Browning, and any genuine threat to the security of Browning is a genuine threat to the security of your payment in the long run. From the information we gathered from the Gnolls, they are situated in the Crow Valley, which is already on the way to Hammerfell, so it will not be that much of a detour. Hopefully. I can't make any promises. But also, quite honestly, I think I have quite a good group here. And he'll kind of chew on it for a second, and as he tries to kind of frame his words correctly,
Mhm.
and he'll be like, "The farmer who buys new supplies only in search of the very next harvest is short-sighted. I think that the group that is here can take on this barbarian lord and do a lot of good while doing it, and and he will look specifically at Atticro when he says this next statement, and he'll be like, and of course, a tyrant like Non is sure to have garnered quite a treasure hoard in his raiding and pilfering for
That'll be
anyone who.
that'll be the first time Atticro looks like he's paid attention this whole conversation.
Yeah, it required quite the hoard for anyone who needs a little bit of convincing in this regard. So I know this is not what you signed up for, but quite frankly, this is what I want to do. And if you are with me, please say so. If you have any concerns or are against the idea, please voice them now.
The floor is now open to you guys.
I'll look at Lawrence and I'll say, "Hey, you paid me for a job. You said that we could collect or pillage or loot or whatever from those that get in your way, basically. As far as I'm concerned, if you tell us this guy's in your way, then he's in your way. It's our job to help you remove him." And I'll go back to eating at that.
Edelbrim, Koch, what about you guys?
Koch is just eating. He's not really giving a shit about this conversation.
Fair enough. Edelbrim?
I'm tending the food and stuff, kind of haphazardly listening myself.
Okay. Rohan?
I'm a little hungover.
Joe?
Rohan is he's he's gonna smile at finding Nan and pretty much say you till the end.
Okay. Voldasaris?
Um, Voldasaris, his thoughts on the matter is, you keep your friends close, but you want to keep your enemies at knife reach. So he understands Rohan's search um, for his betrayer, Nan, and while he believes trust is for the foolish. He understands and wants to help.
Okay. All right, Lawrence, back to you.
Yeah. Now, if everyone seems kind of, at least open to the idea of hunting, I will then be like, I have but one stipulation on this whole, diatribe on our quest, and I'll look at Rohan when I say this specifically. I'll be like, when we find Nan and when we beat him, we take him alive and we ensure that he sees trial in Browning and more than likely is executed publicly, not privately.
Joe, how do you feel about that?
So Rohan is mulling it over. Wow. We will out. For now, I'll follow that.
Hmm.
Okay.
To be quite honest with you, I don't. I could easily see a future where you are the one that drops the axe and Non waits quietly in a cell um, for you to return to execute him. I'm sure that they will make some exceptions to satiate that kind of lust. But I need your word that if we find him, you will make the best effort to take him alive.
Honor is a thing amongst my people. I give you my word.
Okay.
And Lawrence will nod that, and I'll look to everyone else. I'll be like, I expect the same from the rest of you. Now eat up. We have a long day ahead of us.
Okay. So breakfast continues. Hit points are back to normal. Spell slots are full, all that stuff, and bellies are full. You guys are as ready to go as you're gonna be. Um, as you all are getting your things together, collecting everything, Lawrence, Garen comes up to you and he says, "We would love to go with you on this trek, but our duties lie here in the forest and along the road. I hope you can understand."
Do I have some sort of like, I don't know, like some sort of pendant, some sort of imperial seal, like basically like something I can give them to where like if they come into trouble with Browning, they can flash that and be like, we're
You've
with
got
you.
you've got parchment and you've got wax and that stamp.
Okay, yeah, I assume I probably would have done that the night before, and I will hand that to them, and I'll
Okay.
be like, if any of the Queen's men misunderstand your purpose here, um, just flash them this letter.
He
And
takes it and
yeah.
looks at it for a second or two, rolls it up and sticks it in a small scroll holder that he has on his belt. I appreciate that. Thank you.
No, I appreciate your efforts. I'm sure I will be in Browning uh, soon, and I hope to see you again.
He nods. Agreed. He puts one strong hand on your shoulder, kind of grips you tight, got this big grin on his face, and he says, "May your treks into Crow's Valley and the mountains of Hammerfell bring you virtue."
They will surely bring me something.
He nods.
And
He turns
I'll nod to him too.
he turns to his sons and he goes, "Boys, it is time." And they start to gather their things. Okay. So the party's ready. The party's all gathered up, ready to go, I assume.
Hey, Tim,
Yeah.
one question. When we were sorting out the rest of the corpses, was there
Mhm.
anything else that was found on them?
The Gnolls would have had short swords and javelins if you wanted to take those.
Yeah.
What there's 5 short swords and probably twice as many javelins.
All right.
Are you taking all of it?
Yeah, because I can use it.
Okay, so 5 short swords and 10 javelins. Things are going to start to get heavy carrying all that shit.
It won't be for long.
Okay, fair enough. All right, but beyond that, they didn't have anything else worth a shit. I mean, there are the black scarves that symbolize Non the Quiet. There are several of those. There's 6 of them in total, one ogre sized and the other 5 knoll sized. If you wanted to take any of them,
Um, did is it just the scarves? Do they have like any emblems on the scarf itself, or is it just the colors?
So it's just the colors right now. A lot of the raiders, they wear like what Rohan wears, a lot of fur, a lot of leather, things like that. But the scarves are what dictate.
The scarves, the way that they're done on the end, do they have like the little tassel pieces on the ends of them where they're tied off to where they won't unravel?
Say that one more time.
The scarves, the way that they're made,
Yeah.
do they have like the little threading knot pieces that are at the ends of each one to keep them from unraveling?
Okay, so they are more like handkerchiefs. They don't
Oh,
have any sort of thing at the end to keep them secure, but they are big enough to wrap completely around and tie with stuff with enough slack left over. However, on further investigation of these scarves, they are of a material that raiders shouldn't be able to afford. That's what separates them.
all right. I will take them and make a bundle out of them using the orc one as the outer
So
and
you've got
bundle them up.
6 total, 1 orc, 5 gnoll-sized, humanoid-sized scarves.
Okay. Yeah, that might come in handy later.
Possibly. All right, Lawrence, take your men, lead them out.
All right, now begin marching west to Crow Valley.
Okay.
How long will it take my falcon to get back? And
So if your falcon's flying from Browning northwest, or is the falcon going to the keep, or is
they're
it going?
it's going to like Crow Valley. I assume there's like because I think it's in my like
That's pretty
family's
much,
territory.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
straight west. Your
yeah, and
family could patrols the entire western front.
gotcha. Yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
just like I'm sending them out there and like, hey, like who's ever stationed. Like I
Mhm.
assume there's like a border keep, right?
Yeah.
And so like I'm like, who's ever stationed there? I need as much information about Non as you can send me on by Falcon.
Okay, so as the falcon flies, you know that it's going to take her at least a day's flight to get there
Okay,
nonstop.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, but I'll start marching. Hop on my pony and saddle up.
Having some audio issues. Give me 1 second, guys. There we go.
Dang
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I know. Weird. My headset's getting old. But moving on, you lead them off the campsite. You're going back onto the main road.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay. All right. If there's any conversation that anybody wants to have at this point, now is the time. Otherwise, we will move on to close out the night. Anybody? Going once? Going twice?
I mean, if it's okay, I'll ask Rohan. I'll be like, I don't mean to dig into um, wounds that I can't begin to understand, but would you mind telling me your the particulates of your feud with Non?
Joe, now is your opportunity to go as in depth as you want.
I'll share. I'll share the day that it happened. My people, we follow Fenris, animal companion of Drago. It was on the day that I become a tribe or a pack warrior and join a pack of my own. That day that Nan chose to attack. Nan destroyed my people, scattered them everywhere, and those who stayed and fought him, he destroyed. He slaughtered them, my wife amongst them. My father fought valiantly, and he was cut down. It was my duty to stand up to Nan, but I was not ready. And Nan shamed me and humiliated me in front of my people, made me seem weak. I couldn't defend them. I couldn't save them. I couldn't help them. And then he dragged me into the deserts to leave me there and then challenged me to find him. I need to prove to my people, to my pack, to Fenris, that I am worthy to be in a pack again. And I will find Nan, and I will be the one holding the axe at the end.
Voldasaris overhears the conversation between the two and slowly rides up to alongside without even making eye contact, just keeping his eyes forward, and says, "You know, hate is that of a dagger. It's best when hidden, and it is deadliest when precise." And just rides a little faster without ever making eye contact.
Okay. Lawrence?
I'll just kind of, silently nod, and I'll be like, I understand. You know? And I won't try to dig too deep into it.
Fair enough. Okay. The ride west continues. You know that you've got another day, day and a half's worth of riding to do before you start to make it into the valley that eventually becomes Crow's Valley. From there, you have to go through Crow's Valley to get into Hammerfell, and it's mountainous terrain from there. And we will leave it at that, gentlemen.